Well, that was episode 5, at least. Thank fuck. Erwin did not get executed. Of course, something else was going to go down. He had a whole plan there, and still with uncertainties, but he was counting on the right people to sort of intervene.
Yeah.
And even someone like Pixies, who, as he said to the royal family, like, I needed to see whether or not you had humanity's interests at heart, or if you were just looking out for yourselves. So that whole ruse, what they were doing there with telling them that the wall had been breached, and immediately as they said it, it was like, no, I don't see that happening at all. That can't be true. Like, Aina and Bertolt, they're not back already. Or, of course it could have happened, because like this story it's always surprising. So it of course it could have happened in that way, but at least it seemed like that was just a ploy. It was. And things really turned around there. Like, I did not expect for that to be. It's not that it has been completely resolved, but at least when it comes to like the fake royals and this fake king, that actually got resolved in this one, and they got rid of them, kind of. Yeah. Of course, it's never easy, and the people, trying to understand what's going on, and who can they, like, who's gonna lead them, this whole military coup. I understand if some people are afraid that the military is just gonna take over completely. But at least that was a cool surprise. That was a really cool surprise. But everything that sort of went down in this episode, it was kind of self-explanatory. It's not like there's a lot to dive into and analyze, because like we were uncertain of what was going to happen before going into this episode, obviously, and knew there was some sort of plan in place, and maybe we're going to have to like figure it out, and we're going to get some more breadcrumbs. But as I just explained, like, no, it all just got sort of resolved in this one. So what is there to talk about, really, besides the fact that we're obviously happy that it went down this way, and Erwin is still there. I do think it was some interesting conversations between some of the characters, between Erwin and Zachary in the end, where we also found out that Zachary was like, I was probably going to do this anyway at some point. Like, I've always hated these fucks. So I might have done it like before I kicked the bucket anyway. That was sort of fun. But he also brought up like an important point in the way that, well, most people don't want to die, and when it comes down to it, they will put themselves in front of everything else if they're in a situation where they might die. And he surmised that, that's probably the same case with Erwin. Like, no matter what he says, like, deep down, he's just like Zachary himself and like so many others. You don't want to die. But
that's like, it's innate. It's something.
Yeah.
Like, literally, the reason why we have we have like a survival instinct and everything is because the way that we are biologically coded. Because so this is gonna be very sad, but like the biological meaning of existence is just to like spread your DNA and multiply and reproduce. And a part of that is like you want to survive because you want to ensure your own and your offspring's survival. Yeah. And the way that your offspring's survival is secured is if you're alive. If you're alive, yeah, exactly.
Same as if you're in an airplane and those masks come down. Put it on yourself first and then your kid. Sorry, the example, but yeah.
Yeah, but at least...
Sorry.
It was a little out of left field.
I know. I just thought of it and thought, hey, that might be something to say. And then I realized immediately after, nah, just shut up.
But I think like the instincts of... We also want people that are close to us. Like, it doesn't have to be your offspring. I think that's also very specific for at least higher intelligent mammals or animals. And of course humans, is very specific that we want not only our offspring and our like part to survive, we might also want humanity to survive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this whole like the whole conflict in Erwin where he's like, yeah, but is it really important then that like, because if we need humanity to survive in general, like he was kind of like weighing the two options, like if you lose half humanity because of like we lose Rose, he was just kind of weighing the two, because if we lose half, is that better than losing all of humanity or vice versa, right? Because that was also the scenario they set up in the courtroom or in the throne room, where it was just like, yeah, well, if it happens that Rose falls, then all the evacuees they're going to have to come inside a wall
Sina.
And that means that there's going to be a shortage of supplies of any sort.
Yes.
And of course people in power and people with privilege don't want to give
any of that up, as we've established.
It's not even necessarily that you're giving stuff up, it's just like you're sharing your privilege. But yeah. And so that's like the whole thing, right? And the whole like civil war and everything. Yeah. And I think most people by this point know where I'm standing on classicism like this, and also because it was also like I said it before, sprinkled with some fascism here and there, because they just want to be in power because they have the power and they want to stay that way, and they rather want that they keep the power than the safety of humanity and like saving other people and stuff like that. And yeah, so you can think about what you want about that.
Definitely. And that's at least, you know, from where we're sitting, from Erwin's point of view and many others as well now, is what you just said about the royals. They just want to save themselves. They just want to hold on to their own valuables and their lands and all that. Yeah, privilege. But there is still, and I think that's where some of the doubt comes in for Erwin, is the fact that he doesn't 100% know what they're up to and what they have been doing. And whatever they have been doing for the past 100 years, it has kept humanity relatively safe in a sense. So I get the doubt where it's like, should I just have let them do whatever because they've already been successfully protecting humanity? I know that's a lot of air quotes, but I do, like me personally at least, think that he made the right decision, and these royals, these fake kings and whatnot, like not to be trusted at all.
Yeah, but I can't help but wonder, like, because we've seen like some ominous stuff about like how people are kept inside under the false pretenses that the walls are going to keep them safe. And that they're not seeing how they're being locked up inside. And then I can't help but think, are the royals or the government, are they keeping people inside because they don't want them to see that there's actually a world outside? And they don't want, like, they just want to govern people, you know, and they just want to be in power.
Yeah.
So they don't want to get rid of that privilege of being in power. If people find out there's actually a world and like a whole world outside the walls, and it might be safer than originally thought. We don't know what it looks like, and we know that it's been a wish for many people to know what's outside.
Yeah.
And
how much have the royals and those people, how much have they been contributing to what the world actually looks like outside, and the amount of titans, because we've already seen some stuff from the past, and with Ymir specifically being pushed over the wall after being injected and turning into titans. So it's everything that's been leading up to this point, and the way that they have been ruling and governing. Why have they been doing things the way that they've been doing, besides the fact that they just want to hold on to their power? Like there must be something else there, or it started as something else. And I think that's what Erwin and us as well, like that's what we really want to see and what we really want to get to the bottom of. So
yeah, like what happened before the walls, and what happened like when the walls suddenly were there.
Exactly.
You know, all of this, like, well, history stuff. His father was a teacher.
Why?
So of course he's like, yeah, I really want to know what happens and how that's affecting our life today.
Yes, again, like besides the obvious, they just want to stay in power argument. Then, like, what other thing made them keep the entire population there in the dark? Like, what is it they don't want them to know about what happened prior to the walls and all that? So, still a lot to unpack.
But if a Titan gets a power from eating another Titan, who had powers to begin with?
Where do those powers even come from? Is that, something created, or was it already there? Is it from some other being? Like, that's, again...
that was just like just a quick little...
Again, a lot to unpack.
Absolutely. Still a lot of mystery.
Yeah. But then with everything that happened there in the capital and how it all turned around, those news got to Levi's squad, and that was just... sort of a fake out with the cliffhanger in the previous episode for them, where, people approaching is like, oh no, something's going to happen. But no, it was just Hanji and Moblit. So, and them giving them the news. And now they have to hurry the fuck up and find Eren and save Eren. And we also got to see where Eren is at the moment. That looks pretty freaky, pretty spooky.
Yeah,
place.
like very cultist in a way, where you kind of expect vampires to come out. And
or something. But no vampires, no nothing like that. Not a big crowd, or it was just Eren there in change, and then Historia approaching in the end. But we also saw a quick, glimpse of, I don't know, something that was going on, like when Eren was sort of waking up. We saw a person combing their hair in the mirror, and
a rich person.
But that person, who was that? It looked like a rich person for sure. Was that someone from Lord Reise's family, or because the person also, and I might be completely wrong here, it was just something that I imagined, but the person sort of looked like Eren, just with long hair.
And blue eyes.
They had blue eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And Eren's eyes are obviously green. So, yeah, I don't know. But there's definitely a connection there. And there was something more with Lord Reise's family as well, and how they died under those circumstances. They said it was bandits, but then the chapel was destroyed. What destroyed the chapel? Why did Lord Reise put so much energy into rebuilding it afterwards?
But I think that's because it was actually just like some sort of like an exterior kind of a ruse, so you have the exterior, but it actually conceals what's underneath, and that's the underground chapel.
Okay.
I think it's something like that, because chapel... that was why it was so important to him that it was built up and at the same place, because then it's kind of like shielding or like concealing that there's actually an underground.
There's actually something else going on. But I'm also like, what really happened to his family? I don't buy the fact that it was just bandits and the chapel did get destroyed somehow. If Lord Reise has Titan powers, did something go wrong and he inadvertently killed his own family?
Ate them,
or what the fuck is going on there? I have a feeling we might actually get into some of it in the next one. Perhaps. That's at least where it's leading.
Yes.
Do you have anything you want to add to this one?
No, not really.
All right, fair enough. Then that's going to do it for this reaction and review of Attack on Titan Season 3, Episode 5. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.
But everything that sort of went down in this episode, it was kind of self-explanatory. It was kind of self-explanatory.